On this episode, Dodge punches Ford right in the face, and that has nothing to do with this episode at all. This real estate stuff is not easy, so send me your questions and I will answer them. This is the Ask Jason Show. Hello everybody, my name is Jason Piercey, and this is episode 113 of the Ask Jason Show. I'm a little bit giggly today because Joe just landed a killer joke and a burn on me. Basically, he found a really clever way to call me a pretentious douche. And it was apt. It was good. Apt is such a good word. This episode comes from literally a question that a client / friend, good friend and good human being, asked me yesterday. Oh, I have a new phone and my pop socket on the back. Did I show you this? It's a record. It's even like it's got like the lines and the ridges and it's amazing. So it's also like, it's basically like a fidget toy. So for anybody with ADHD, now my pop socket does all of this and it spins. And I bet you I can get through the majority of this episode before it stops. Do you want to try? Here we go. Let's give it a shot. So a client messaged me yesterday and he asked me, he's interested in new builds, and he asked me if people are, I was way off, this is definitely not going to work, if people are still building new houses with the price of materials. And I responded, yes, absolutely, a bunch. He said, yeah, but what are the smart people doing? And this is how I answered his question about what the smart people are doing. I mean, I got the preamble. That's not bad. Why didn't you take this from me? You're supposed to take it from me. Yeah, now he's going to play. He's going to play with it. Can you stop? This is... Okay, so this is how I answered the question about smart people and what they're doing when it comes to new home construction. The assumption is that because building materials are expensive, means the cost of building is high, and it means you shouldn't build because it's an unintelligent decision. That's not true, because if you are selling one thing and buying another, and the one that you want to buy is of greater value to you than the one that you want to sell, all that matters, the individual price points and the individual processes don't matter. All that matters is the wash between them. That's the important part, because the rest of it is always going to be relative to what's going on in your market. So what are smart people doing when it comes to new home construction? The smart people are recognizing that while it costs more money to build, like purchase price, to build the exact same thing now than it would have 18 to 24 months ago, the most intelligent people are recognizing that interest rates are incredibly low. My allergies, I'm wheezy. Listen. This is a rough one today, for whatever reason. I gotta go take something when I get out of here. Anyway, I'll get through it. Smart people are recognizing that the amount of money that you have to pay in excess of what it was or what it should be or what it is inflated by on account of the increase of materials is far outweighed by the combination of lower interest rate that increases market activity on your previous home because now it is more affordable to a larger demographic of people because the lower interest rate has increased everybody's buying power. And because inventory is really low right now, like I put a house up for sale in West End of St. John's that like literally sold in less than, what was it, like 12 or 14 hours or something for like, so because, you know, inventory is low, so things move. And price, of course, is a function of supply and demand. So if inventory is low, prices go up. So the price of the place that you're selling is up. More people can buy it because interest rates are low. Your buying power is also increased on the place that you want to buy. So that 1.5% interest rate differential from when you would have built it 2 years ago versus building it now, your carrying costs are that much lower that you should be spending an extra $10,000 to $15,000 on the same place anyway to increase your energy efficiency. Because I need to stop and take these deep breaths. This is so embarrassing. I'm like a very out of shape person trying to get up over the stairs. It's rough because that's going to lower your carrying costs again. And the most intelligent people are not thinking about purchase price. They're not thinking about building material supply. They're thinking about the wash between the two, how much that wash costs them, not what it costs them as a purchase price, because the majority of people, unless you're paying things cash, aren't thinking about net worth. They're thinking about monthly budgeting, carrying costs, maybe quarterly budgets. And they're recognizing that if you want to sell this place, which now you can get 20 grand more than you could have last year or the year before or whatever, and you want to buy this place, but it's 15 grand more than it used to be. And now the spread that would have previously been, so if this is 20 grand more now, this is 15 grand more now, you're 5 grand closer than you used to be a year and a half or 2 years ago. Not only are you 5 grand closer, that 5 grand now only costs you 1.5% as opposed to 2.75 or 3%. The most intelligent people are recognizing that the purchase price of your new build is not the only part that matters. And provided you can be approved from a lending perspective for that amount of money, it doesn't matter at all. It's the difference between the two and how much that difference costs you to carry. Because that's the only change in your current life and your future life, aside from having the house that you always wanted. That's it. So yeah, plywood is $80 instead of $20 a sheet. I know, it sucks. But there's more in your house than plywood, and there's more in your life than house. So it's that simple. If the new place is 50 grand more than the old place, that's what the wash is, and you're borrowing that 50 grand at 1.5%. Listen, you're driving a $50,000 car that you're paying 4.5 or 5.5% on, and that's an ego move that you're happy about, and it makes you feel good and you're comfortable. You'll borrow that 50 grand for a car that is immediately just like wasted money from a net worth perspective, like it's just gone. You don't ever get it back. You're paying for the use of the vehicle and you understand the depreciation and you're okay with that 50 grand, but you won't put 50 grand into a dream house that you're going to spend like 18 hours a day in and make you happy and like pay off and leave to your children and be like the greatest accomplishment of your life. Do I even need to go further than that? It's that simple. So, to my good friend and client, what are the smart people doing? They're buying the houses that they want and they're using money. And they're using other people's money at very, very low interest rates. And they're taking advantage of low inventory and higher buying power to maximize the equity that's in their house so that the wash between the two is minimized. And even that minimized wash is nearly free money to you. And don't buy $50,000 cars. At least not until you buy your house first. Because here's the secret. They're going to lend you the money for the truck anyway. Like when you go to the truck, you go see my buddy Matt, who works at Hickman Dodge Ram, and you want to go get the new Ram TRX. Oh my goodness. It's got a Hellcat engine. I don't know if this means anything to anybody other than me, but it's a 6.3 liter V8 and it's 1,000 horsepower. The thing is a monster. It's basically what you want for the zombie apocalypse because it's like this jacked up truck. It's Dodge's response to the Ford Raptor, except it's a T-Rex. And you can't tell me that the name TRX isn't a punch in the face to the Ford Raptor. Like, it's very, very obvious. And they're punching Ford in the face with their branding. Go see Matt, get one of those, survive the zombie apocalypse, and for the love of God, stop worrying about the price of materials. It ain't going back down to where it was. Ever. Adapt and overcome. How do you do that? You decide, you commit, and then you succeed. Ta-da! What do smart people do? They watch the Ask Jason show. And fast forward through the parts where Joe and I are just like rambling because, let's face it, that's all shit. Anyway, that's it for this episode, and we will see you next time.
The Ask Jason Show exists so that you can get good real estate related information from a resource that you can trust. Now, speaking of resources you can trust, here's a couple I would trust to work with my mom. Because good enough for mom, good enough for you.
Hello everybody, my name is Jason Piercey, and this is and nipples episode. We have to do that again. I can't start the show with nipples. They're a little hard. It's chilly here. Because the assumption is that because building materials it's spinning in the background and I can't pay attention. Can you stop it, please? There's I'll get you today.